Round corner has problems. Look at that crack below the lintel. I've been keeping an eye on it over summer and it has definitely been getting worse. The corner has been rebuilt very badly without the bricks being tied in properly to the original building, and it's causing all of the weight above it to lean down on that outer layer of bricks, and it's going to eventually collapse if I don't do something about it. I need to get this job done before the frost starts setting in, which I would say is in about 2 weeks' time now. And if it's not done in time, if I've got fresh mortar in there when it gets frosty, it's just going to say, nah, you're going to fail, mate. So there's only one thing that we've got left to do, and that's just to get stuck in and get cracked on with it, and hope that we don't open a humongous bag of worms again. It's pretty serious business when I've got to remove the drain pipe. I don't take that off lightly because it's possibly one of my favourite parts of the building is that galvanised steel drain pipe. It's just, you know, really, really tasty. Anyhow, this is the strong boys going in, which is, I'd needed to take a bit of the mortar out, bray those in, and I've put those in as a bit of an extra precaution, a bit of a fail-safe. I didn't know how far I'd have to take this corner back, so I didn't want to take any chances. Put some strong boys in, hired 6 acro props, and got those in place. I have got 2 other acro props which I put inside as well. Now those doors I fitted, they came off a village hall, and it shows the severity of the situation. I've got to undo that, and it's not very nice undoing something that you've done, but it needs must. The chaps at Norman Iverson Steel Products cut this plate down, and I'm giving it a bit of paint for later as it's going to be a spreader plate. We got some bits and pieces knocked out last night, and I took this apart and I'd put it together quite well. It's quite tricky to do, but you can just see, it helps us see, because all of this, there's just a huge crack down there, and that is just sitting onto there, and it's cracked it, and you can see just there, it's cracking this further. Got the props both in up there and there, so I don't think it's going to take much getting out. We'll soon find out. I think that is not held in there very well at all. I might put another acro prop in now I've got that out, because there's a lot of weight all sat on there. Better view of it there. You know, it's just pinpointed down onto it almost. That bit's actually out the door there, I guess. I don't think I'll actually. I've been grinding it back with the angle grinder, and I don't think that this part here is actually too bad in between there and there. I think that's original. Some of this has been cobbled in. So I might not actually have to take it all apart if I'm lucky. We'll see. I decided to use an angle grinder to rake out all of this cement mortar. It was a really hard mix. Whoever'd done it had decided to make it as strong as possible. And using an angle grinder, it's got the potential to damage a lot of the brickwork, but if I use a mortar rake, I think it would have just killed the tool, the blade that goes in the tool, into the angle grinder, and it would have just taken a really long time. You can see that I just gave up trying to take them out delicately. I saw all the cracks and everything running down them and thought, I'm on a hiding to nothing trying to keep those in there, and I needed to put something fresh in their place. It looks very much like the layer of bricks closest to us have been taking the weight of the building on their shoulders. Now, it's because they haven't been tied into the original brickwork. The weight's not been evenly distributed across that pillar. But in the builder's defence, I know they've used cement, yada yada yada, but in the builder's defence, that opening was blocked up with breeze box. We've then unblocked it, and that's put even more pressure onto that pillar. Someone's pointed out saying they think that something's hit that corner, which it looks very likely. You could imagine a tractor with a bucket on it swinging into there and causing all of that ruckus. Now, I'm wetting it down a couple of days in advance of putting any mortar in it, just so that it's not going to suck all of the fun out of the mortar when I put it in. Trying to be careful so I don't damage these ones too much. It's not easy. My eye's a bit funny in this video because I've been doing some electrical work just over the road actually, and I had a fight with a big armoured cable, a supply cable, and the cable won. Just trying to gingerly release those bricks without causing too much damage, and it kind of worked, but you can see that I'm getting rid of those half ones so I can put a full brick into that hole, and that's going to sit on this layer closest to us again. I could feel that the bricks at the top there were reluctant to give up or to let go, so it was a bit of an indicator that they're holding a bit of weight, so that was starting to put some weight onto the acro props. I've been having real problems with wireless microphones, and this is one occasion where the wireless microphone hasn't been playing ball. What I'm explaining here is that I'm going to have to remove more bricks than I'd anticipated, because you can see lots of them are broken in half or in poor shape, so I'm going to have to carefully remove those and put a full one in, and it's kind of, where do you draw the line? Pointing up there because I took a load of bricks out there, I don't know if you remember, when doing the windows, and the bricks are quite a good match. In fact, they're a great match for the existing brick, and I've got quite a few of them. The problem is that someone has commented saying that if you're doing any conservation work, the train of thought is that you don't use something that matches intentionally so that you can date the building, which makes total sense. And across the road from here, somebody has done just that. I don't think it's been intentionally, because it's not been done sympathetically. They've used a cement mortar, but all the same, you can date the work that's been done and the restoration. Now I'm faced with the decision of whether I use something completely different with intent or use something that matches and that's original. It's similar to how when you put something close to the centre but not quite, it looks wrong, but if you intentionally put it far enough away so that it's not central, it looks right again. This brick's take out, which will mean that all of that weight is supported by those three, and I'm just worried that lot might end up going like that, which I don't know, it probably won't do because all the weight's going down, but I don't know if it just wants to come away this way, so I'm just going to put a brace from this acro prop to that acro prop there. I'm sure that anybody in the know about this sort of thing, a builder, a structural engineer, will be watching this thinking, get away, you'll be absolutely fine, you'd be fine with one acro prop, but for me, I'm heading into new, exciting, uncharted territory, and I'm proceeding with caution because I do not want to end up with a building on my head. Whoa. There's a bit of slate under there. As I'm taking these bricks out, I am very aware that this magical world of physics is being played with and forces are shifting and moving around. Once this one's undone, we're completely relying on acro props. Tell that's got a lot of weight on it. Unfortunately, this video is going to be slightly shorter than normal. I just wanted to keep you in the loop with how things are going, and I haven't been able to commit as much time as I'd like to do because I've got some ongoing electrical work which needs doing, which is out of my control. But if you would like to see how this turns out if it falls down, then please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It really does help out and it's completely free. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you at the next one. What's going to emerge next? It's a spinny wire thing, an unwieldy spinny wire thing as well. I'm wire brushing the lintel so that I can paint it, just to get all of the flaky rusty parts off. I believe the lintel is cast iron, and interestingly, cast iron doesn't normally corrode that much, but where it's been encased in the lime and the mortar and eventually the cement mortar, it seems to have corroded worse than where it's just been out in the open. But it does look like the part which has been out in the open has had some bitumen paint put on it, so that's what I'm going to put on it again, a bit of bitumen paint. I'm sure you can relate to this, but this bitumen paint triggers a memory. It sharply takes me back to being a kid painting corrugated steel sheets on my granddad's farm, and it's the smell mainly, but also the feel of it, how it drags, how the brush drags across it, and it's quite hard to pull. And it's funny how smells can do that, and it's hard to convey using YouTube, but I'm sure that you'll have things which take you back, or something else which does it is a song, and it can sometimes catch you off guard. I didn't think it was going to do any harm putting the bitumen paint onto the metalwork. It's all exposed and now's the time to do it, and it might help keep some of these lovely features around for a bit longer. I think I'll try keep the patina of the lock on with some anchor wax or something like that, just so that you can still see the rust. Right, we're all propped up inside, and then outside we've got our props. It started raining now, and that's all spotted. And to us, the only thing that's happened is that's moved. Everything else has kind of stayed the same, but we can't see the stresses. The stresses shifted. There's like an invisible world that we can't see, and then that's moved from there to there. So it's going to be the end of this video. I'm going to get out of the rain, hopefully edit this, and light the fire, I think, and then we'll see you at the next one, hopefully, to put this pillar back together.